All right, so I'm here with JJ, who came third yesterday in the German qualifier for Vanguard playing Kagero. So, how was your day? What were your bad or good matchups and anything else?
Yeah, hi guys. I had very awkward games against a lot of my opponents. I kind of instant-gamed them a lot, and I'll explain to you why a little bit in a minute. My hardest matchup, I think, were a lot of the 7Cs decks that I played against two of them. One of them, he had a little awkward start, and he didn't really come back from, he couldn't really guard properly, and he had a lot of great threes in his hand. And the second matchup, it was for third place, and that game was hard. At a given point in time, he had about 8 cards in his hand, but he won that game, but I ended up winning the match, so I was pretty lucky in that instance.
That's good. And are there any shout-outs you want to give to anyone?
Mostly all the people from Gamers of the West that I played with today. To Lubo for kicking me out, kicking me out of Top Cut. Kicking me out of finals. In any case, it was a fun game against him. Yeah. Shout outs to him, of course, and then to all of the guys I've been playsetting the deck with for God knows how long. Yeah. That's it.
All right, so let's get into your deck.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna run off with the starter. I play Lizard Hero Undux. A lot of people play the other starter that allows you to retire the other one. Retire whenever you retire something. It's not wrong. It's not bad. I just prefer this for me because how I build the deck is based on filtering. Yeah. So I like getting my cards when I want them and not having to hope that I have combo pieces that I might need them.
Okay.
So then I play the Great and the Legend. Those are my 8 grade 3s. I prefer opening with the Legend first, since he's a +1 inherently on ride. And then if you happen to have a rodent like a perfect shield, like a protect orb, you can Soul Blast a shield. You get your free counter charge if you have an X shield on hand. So it can help you pressure swings, and then the Great allows you to swing in a rear guard to filter through your hand again and to get through your deck.
Alright, that's cool.
And then for grade 2s, I ran a lineup of 11 grade 2s if I'm not mistaken. 2 Burning Horn, 2 Dragonic Burnouts, 3 of the mates of the Great, and then 4 Nahalims. Okay. Nahalims, usually I would write him first if I were to go to grade 2, because then there's oftentimes I still have 3 index, so I can oftentimes draw into it, get some tempo swings with it. Burning Horn, he's usually been my constant side laning grade 2 since he always pressures your opponent without boost. So if you don't get Nahalim, he's a better second. And then Burnout is for tempo play for early game, or if you go into late game, he's also still pretty good if you still have the soul. Yep. And then the Legion Mate is standard if you want to get some early swings, and you can retire columns, which is actually
good. That's true. Alright, moving on to grade 1s.
And now the grade 1s. I was questionable about this one because I was actually playing the Perdition shield, just the regular shield. Yeah. So then if I were playing the mirror match, I would have a better game against the mirror match. But it's, I've noticed that if you're playing against the mirror match, you just don't have any rear guards. Yeah. Just get rid of your rear guards. I don't even have any at all. So then this actually works better in the mirror match. So then you just protect your Vanguard and you get your counter charge you're going to use for your Titan or anything else. Okay. One spare of Tar. It's kind of a flex slot. I only did it because, as I was saying before, I like filtering. I like getting my grade 3s to my hand whenever I want them. I guess it's like a Marikawa fetish for me. Yeah. But I like being able to ride whatever unit I need for whatever situation. Basically, just like looting everything away when I need it. Okay. And plus the 4K I could give to our rear guard for a 20k lane, or if I could give it to Burning Horn for 16, it's actually pretty sweet too. Alright. And then 4 Stride Enablers. A lot of people in this type of deck, a lot of people would think that, oh, you play 8 grade 3s and you have so much filtering and so much search potential with a deck. Why would you play 4 Stride Enablers? I prefer the 4 Stride Enablers because there's oftentimes you want to save the grade 3 for a later turn, or it depends on how the game is going, so you want to use it at a different time. So then the Stride Enablers, you can use them as booster, you can use them as Stride Enabler. Alright, cool. And then MVP is Conroe.
Yeah. So that's your main filtering power. Yeah.
Main filtering, counter charging, everything you need and more. As long as you have if you start with the grade and you have another grade one, he's great because then he just gets you the legend and then you could go off of there.
All right.
And then for the Strider Zone.
And triggers?
Oh, triggers.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Okay. For Gatling Claw, I find this a staple for any Overlord base deck or an Overlord type deck that uses very little to no counterblast.
Yep.
He's good early game, gets rid of starters that are very annoying. The rest of my triggers are pretty awkward because I could not find the matching ones.
Yeah.
So then there's 4 heals.
Yeah.
And then I play 8 crits.
Okay, which is pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Nothing.
Writing that deck list might have been a little bit of a pain.
It was hell. It
Nice.
was hell. Like the stride zone was probably the most hellish thing to ever write.
All right, so let's get into it.
Because then you have easy things, you know, denial griffing. We'll start with a G Guardian first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I played 5 G Guardians. I found in certain situations playing a little bit more defensive by playing 5 was very advantageous because I can pick and choose how I wanted to guard it, which things I wanted to guard it around, and thinking like I can guard 2 maybe 20k or 30k lanes pretty easily was in that sense.
Yeah.
And then this was against when Wiseman was being played today. Hopefully I would not get matchup against it because it's kind of annoying if you don't have a heal in hand.
Yeah, it's true.
And you have the denial griffins for that matchup, and defeat flare is pretty staple in any Kagura deck.
It's also really good for the Royal matchup because you can pop the Barkles and stuff. So
exactly.
You did that in the top 4 match as well.
Yep.
So pretty good. All right, and for the strides.
And then for the aggressive strides, I did not know this ruling about the ace, why you should play him at 4, was that you can actually get his GB2 skill off on first stride with 4 counterblasts.
Yep, as long as you have 4 counterblasts.
As long as you have 4 counterblasts, because the act ability is stackable, but the requirements is then after checked when you resolve the ability.
It's the same with the Nova Grappler one.
Exactly. So it was kind of awkward for me finding that out in top 8.
Yeah.
It's very awkward. Played the deck for almost 2-3 years now, so.
It's understandable.
And then for Titan, it is the best mid-game card.
Yeah, it is.
So good.
This is what Overlord was lacking for most of the time. It was lacking mid-game. And this is what.
So good mid.
Yeah.
And basically you can also activate his ability on the open field, so you still get an inherent crit, because it then checks after whether or not the opponent has any rear guards or not.
All right.
And then MVP Gimp Master of yesterday's tournament, Novell.
Yeah.
Most importantly that I had against my opponents, a lot of them I played against, I'm sorry guys that I had to gimp you like that. It's because they oftentimes go to 4 or 5, and then they have, oftentimes I would check how much cards you have in your area. I have 5. Okay, so now they just put a 7k booster and you just can't guard.
Yeah, that's true.
You just can't guard. And if I filtered enough through my deck, and I know I have like about 11 triggers in deck, and maybe 6 of them are crits, it's oftentimes game. And it's very nasty. It's very nasty because it's always consistently happened.
All right. Yeah. I remember you were telling me many of the times that you won so many games through Novell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because I didn't know about the Ace's ability, I ended up playing Root Flare.
But he's still okay.
It's still
because he can pop resist columns.
And that's kind of like why I did it, because then Titan doesn't do it. The Ace you would like rather swing on a turn when your hand is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's basically I usually flip him with Titan, so that's kind of.
All right.
And then he's my first ride, so I would flip him. I'd flip a Titan with him, and then try to retire some of my opponent's rear guards. And it checks for how much cards you have in your Vanguard circle. So if you're Legion and you stride into him as first stride,
you can pop a lot more.
You can retire 3 units. So it's pretty insane.
Yeah. All right. So any last words?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for taking your time out to take a profile, of course, and
no problem.
each and every last one of you awesome people a wonderful day. If you guys don't like how the list was, you can always change it. That's how cool Vanguard is. Everybody can make a decision to play whatever they want and how they want to play it.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a great day.
All right, thank you very much.